This is the Regal Imports News for September 2014. I usually start this news broadcast with a market report. The reason that I open with news about rough diamonds and manufacturing is to help retailers to better understand why diamond prices rise and fall. Understanding downstream market conditions will assist the retailer in making important diamond purchasing decisions. With that in mind, here is the market report. Site holders are having a difficult time absorbing the large quantity of rough diamonds offered by De Beers in the first half of the year. August site prices were stable, but 6 to 7% of the diamonds offered were left unsold. Not purchasing an assigned allotment can negatively affect a site holder's position. De Beers is reported to have sold 23% more rough this year compared to the same period last year, and manufacturers have large quantities still in the pipeline. There are reports last month's boxes are selling at discounts in the secondary markets. Softer retail sales and longer GIA wait times are causing a liquidity problem. The registration for De Beers sites begins in the spring of 2015, and De Beers will evaluate the companies that are best able to move their diamonds through the supply chain. Some of the big players must be feeling a considerable amount of pressure. Alrosa is in lockstep with De Beers. Sales of Russian rough are up 27% in the first half, and profit figures have soared 58% to $623 million. Rough from Alrosa rose between 6 and 7% in the first half of this year. The war between Russia and the Ukraine is a problem for diamond price stability because Alrosa plays such an important part in the diamond supply chain. The implementation of sanctions against Russian diamonds would hurt both the EU and the United States and destabilize prices. Politics and business should not be related, but they are. And so far, Western governments have put aside political ideals in order to maintain market stability. Rough diamond prices are rising and polished prices are sluggish. There is an imbalance that can only play out one of two ways. Polished prices rise or diamond manufacturers suffer. There has been a slowdown in the emerging markets of China and India. Polished prices are slightly down and market sentiment is weak. The outlook for the Hong Kong show is not optimistic. America has seen a rise in consumer confidence. However, there are mixed messages from the financial statements of the world's largest jewelry chain stores, with Cygnus' profit down 14%, Chow Sang Sang's profit down 15%, and Tiffany's profit up 16% year over year. I think that consumer confidence ratings and consumer spending numbers are on different tangents. American consumer confidence ratings soared in the first half of the year, while luxury spending fell by close to 14%. The only conclusion is that the average consumer is still cautious and curtailing unnecessary spending. De Beers continues to try to extend its business downstream. A quick history of De Beers ventures would begin with the Supplier of Choice initiative, which was a complete failure. After this, they moved on to the De Beers branded retail stores, which seemed to be headed in the same negative direction. Currently, they are sinking a ton of money into Forevermark, which is still not a publicly recognized or formidable brand. De Beers has clout and money, but they have yet to score a touchdown in the big game. De Beers' newest venture is a foray into the arena of estate diamonds. They plan to set up some test locations and offer more money for estate diamonds than the average retail store or estate buyer. They expect to buy and resell estate diamonds to the wholesale and retail markets. One of their goals must be to reestablish diamonds as a more solid investment in the eyes of the public. They call the new company the International Institute of Diamond Valuation. Currently, the concept is being tested in a few Forever Mark locations. Eden Golan points out that the most interesting aspect of this exercise is that De Beers will actually have a publicly known wholesale price list. I would appreciate any response from my viewers with their take on this new venture. Moving away from De Beers, current studies estimate that only 6% of all retail purchases are conducted online. The average Canadian spends less than $1,000 online per year. It seems that consumers still want a more social and tactile experience while shopping. I believe that diamond retailers are overly concerned with competition from online diamond portals. This overreaction has caused diamond retailers to unnecessarily give their margins away. Bill Boyajian believes that the retail answer to online diamond sales is confidence and on-hand inventory. These are his words. Jewelers think nothing of opening a new line of jewelry for $35,000, but hesitate to buy a larger diamond at the same price. You can't sell what you don't have. There is much more likelihood that your margins will improve when you have the goods in the showcase mounted and ready to sell. He believes that increased margins are best achieved by retailers who not only stock diamonds but also create their own personal brand. Think about it. You have already used your store to launch brands for someone else, so why not do it for yourself? Well-known branded jewelry lines are currently holding retail jewelers hostage with the double-edged threat that with too few sales the brand will be relocated, and minimum order requirements when business is good. Many of these brands have gone as far as to take regular in-store physical inventories. Most larger branded jewelry lines sell by model numbers, with each model purported to be identical. The problem with identical items is that they allow for easy price comparison from store to store or even city to city. Rather than increasing profitability, branded lines encourage price comparison. Clients buying a branded mount are more likely to consider the purchase of a center diamond in the same manner as a branded mount, that is, by comparison shopping. Selling your personal jewelry line removes the retailer from the game of price comparison and replaces that with a more individual product and selling experience. Finally, the Nashville, Tennessee retailer that has been singled out for selling EGL International reports is now being sued by 2 more clients for fraud and violations of the Tennessee Consumer Protection Act. One lawyer said that more suits will be forthcoming. He hopes to consolidate all the litigation into a class action. EGL International could not be reached for comment. EGL International is well protected and not legally responsible for the content of their diamond reports. It has been reported that Rappaport may be the first industry member to respond to this situation by delisting all diamonds with EGL Hong Kong and Israel grading reports from their RAPNet list. And that's the Regal Imports news for this month. Please look for our new ad on the back cover of Jewelry Business magazine. The ad is called Beyond the Seas.